Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a full moon pick a card reading for past life and advice going into this life, possibly what you've taken from past lives and can use going forward. We're going to start by asking God, my angels, guides, ancestors to watch over this reading. Help me to provide clear and accurate messages to my collective. Help them to hear and see what it is that they need from this reading, and direct any evil, ill will away. And I thank you in advance, my guides. Okay, so you've got three choices. First one, you have the scarecrow with the sunflower and the pumpkin, trying to get into the fall vibe here. Second choice, you have the pumpkin. And third choice, you have the green scarecrow with the pumpkin and the sign that says give thanks. I'm going to give you a minute to look them over. Pick which one's calling to you, which one you think has a message for you today. You could pick multiple depending on what it is you're guided to. So again, we have the orange scarecrow, the pumpkin, and the green scarecrow. Okay, I'm going to move away these other two. And we're going to do, so we're going to start with the orange scarecrow. Okay, so the cards pulled for the orange scarecrow, we have the archetype card as the sword. Past life, we have galactic, high priest or priestess, imprisonment or slavery. Then for the starseed, we have lost lands, high wrath. Trying to move them down a little bit. I'm trying to make sure they all get in here. And then for the mystic shamanic oracle, we have completion. And for the empathic oracle, we have phases. So to begin, I'm going to start by rolling these dice to see if there's any clarifiers, signifiers to begin. We have Aquarius, the number 2, and Neptune. Okay, so in the past life cards, we have Galactic, and this is saying that you might feel like an alien here in this world. You could have come from another dimension, another galaxy, could be a starseed. Either way, you don't feel at home. You kind of feel like an alien, or have always felt like you didn't quite belong. The earthly customs aren't really your thing. You may not have, some people really, when they're young, they think of marriage and children and home life. You could have dreamed of other things such as spirituality, wanting everybody to get along. You see like the earthly ways as being very violent and judgmental, and you just always wanted people to get along. You wanted to make the universe, the world, a more peaceful place for you. You could have been drawn to some kind of energy healing, having more of understanding of technology. With this card, it does say that the best place to find maybe your soul group or things like that would be online, maybe some computer courses, or even at like sci-fi conventions. You also have the high priest and priestess here. With this card, it says that you possibly have had an inner knowing since childhood that maybe in a past life you were a high priest or priestess, very spiritually connected, very spiritually aligned, had a strong intuition about things. This card is calling you to reignite your spiritual power, start putting it into practice. Possibly you could work in like healing, teaching, some kind of industry that's helping the world, or this is your mission in life, or this is what you're drawn to do. It also says to release any insecurities you have as far as other people knowing that you have gifts, spiritual gifts, able to see things before they happen, just an inner knowing of what's going on around you, those type of things. It also said possibly in one or more lifetimes you had imprisonment or slavery. Basically your rights were taken from you, your dignity was taken from you. Just know in this lifetime you are now free from that. It can still cause some fears, such as claustrophobia. Maybe you don't like being in small confined places. You're very empathetic to people who have been abused or mistreated in any kind of way. Could also have what they call Stockholm Syndrome. Basically that's having empathy towards people that abuse you or mistreat you. Your mission here is to bring justice to the world, defend the underdogs. Through acts of compassion, you can heal the world. Now, in this lifetime, your archetype is the sword, or the archetype coming out for you today is the sword. You could feel like you're in two worlds at a lot of the time. Like, you spend a lot of time in your head, your mind, connection with spirit, and then also you could dabble in things of the world. So what the sword is asking is for you to like pick a path and go towards it. You can't just stay in the middle. You got to cut through and really find out what is meant for you and start heading in that direction. This card is also called the infamous Shaper of Destiny. So you're destined to walk a path. You just have to make the choice and start walking towards that. Okay, from the Starseed Oracle, we have the Lost Lands. It says soul memories and gifts. You've done this before, just like with the High Priestess. You intuitively know that you have done this before. It says you're being guided to connect to the ancient wisdom, possibly of Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon, because the knowledge from them already exists in you. So you might need to start researching to kind of reignite the truth that you already know on the inside, unlock the seeds of wisdom. Just surrender to the intelligence that's already in your soul. And then we have High Wrath. It says longing for home, homesick for the stars. And kind of what I said before with this galactic card, you feel like an alien here in this world. You need to learn to like anchor your presence into the earth itself, because your soul made a choice to come here. So now you need to like fully commit to living this life in the earth and what your mission is here. Also finding a place where you truly belong, possibly finding that soul tribe I was talking about earlier as well. With this completion card here, it does say that, you know, all things have a beginning, middle, and end, right? You need to transform the old and the new here, because this is like an end of a cycle. There's a cycle that you have completed that you might still be holding on to, thinking that there's more to come from this, but there isn't. It's complete. You're needing to like let it go, because like if you leave a fruit on a vine for too long, it will eventually rot. It will eventually, you know, not be any good anymore. So, it's like you finished an old cycle. So there's nothing more to gather here. So like celebrate the completion, reap the rewards or reap the harvest from it. Honor what it is that you've learned from this cycle, and then let the new cycle begin. And then lastly, we have the card of phases from the Empathic Oracle. It says every season has a reason, and this one is acceptance of this very moment. So at this time, you're being asked to accept where you are today, figure out what cycle you're in, because the completion card is here. It's basically just reaffirming that this season had a reason, and now a new season needs to begin. Very powerful group this is. I'm going to pull some cards from the Making Magic Oracle. See if we can get some more information before we end. It says love charm, attract a lover, and mate or life partner. So possibly when you choose which path that you're going to go on, you will run into this soulmate life partner. It says breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. So that could be what the choice is, to get out of maybe the earthly ways and more into the spiritual practices. And then it says earth. Ask the element of earth for grounding, stability, and strength in times of chaos. Now that is very beautiful. Okay, so for the orange scarecrow, that is your message. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I will move into the pumpkin. Okay, if you have chose the pumpkin, this is your message. Let's see what your cards are. We have got, for the archetype, this is the eternal child. Past life, we have orphan. We have Egypt. We have health. For your starseed, we have star ancestors. We have the golden children. We have the chameleon. And we also have the rattle. Okay, so I'm going to begin with your past life. Possibly in a past life, you were one or more incarnations, you were in Egypt. You could be drawn or have been drawn to Egypt. Maybe the way they have, they practice, their spirituality is based around astrology and astronomy. So you could be drawn to those things like astrology or astronomy. Stargazing will help you trigger like revelations or memories from your past life. If you have been drawn to Egypt, or if you've traveled to Egypt and really enjoyed it, they say that your past life was more of a positive. If you've had fears of traveling to Egypt, or if you've seen pictures of pyramids or something from Egypt and it triggers a negative response, then possibly you've had like a bad experience in a past life in Egypt. The orphan card comes out as well, saying that maybe in one or more lifetimes you were an orphan. However, you could have some kind, or you could have brought into this incarnation some fears of abandonment that you're not sure like where they came from. And it's saying although you have fears of abandonment, you also have great strength and resilience due to living past lives this way. However, some of your survival skills, possibly they can help you during tough times, but they can also hinder you because they have a way of like hardening the heart a little bit. So make sure to keep your heart open. You also have the health card. The health card comes as you could have physical health issues in this lifetime, which may cause some kind of hardship to you. You could work in the medical field. You could be working towards healing. Just you naturally have had like a draw to help others, heal others. Um, you could have a problem though, like you may do some kind of healing work that you don't want to charge for or charge money for. You just need to know like an energy exchange of, if you're doing something for other, you also need to get it back, have it come back to you as well. So don't be scared of those type of things. And along with this orphan card, you need to always remember that your true mother and father is God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, whichever deity you believe in. Just remember they are your true mother and father, and they will never leave you alone. So the card that came out was the Eternal Child for your archetype, which is kind of perfect, especially with this orphan card here. It's basically like AKA the inner child, the child of joy. You might have a struggle with like getting older, any kind of physical limitations, ailments, things like that. You're probably one of the children, like in your childhood, you were like nixed all the rules and responsibility. It's like you strive for that, what is it called? Eternal youth, the fountain of youth. You believe that everything is possible. You just live your life as far as like looking through a child's perspective. Joyful, you love to play. You could enjoy the magic of life. But at the same time, you also might need to do some kind of inner child work. Okay. Sorry about my birds. I've done this 3 different times and had to re-record because as soon as I start a video, people start moving around the house, so I apologize for the background noise. Okay, for the Starseed Oracle, we have Star Ancestors, which said, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and look a little deeper. You're being advised to do something different during this time, and it's weird because you see the pyramids here as well. Change your point of view. You need to uncover the ancient secrets, and you see here there's like a keyhole inside one of these pyramids. The ancestors knew the connection to the stars, and pyramids, temples, places of worship were always in precise alignment with the stars. So you drew the Egypt card here as well. So maybe do some like past life regression, some kind of past life work, possibly before you go to sleep. Ask your spirit guides to give you more information as far as like about your past life or things you need to work on. Then we have the golden children. It says inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. And again, it's speaking of the child. You are said to have very psychic abilities. You're very intuitive. It's like you were born with a very clear mission. You've known since you were a child that you had these gifts. You could have been very bored in school, and you look at the world like a child. Like I said earlier with this one, you need to treat yourself and others more kindly in order to receive things, because your heart could be hardened, like I said, due to some abandonment issues here. For the Shamanic Oracle here, we have the rattle, and if you see here on, they say with the rattle, the top of the rattle represents the world. The stick references like the axis in which it turns, and then when they shake the rattle, it encompasses the world and protects the world. So when you pray, they're guiding you to be mindful to always pray for the world, not just yourself. Live more for humanity as a whole, not just any greedy, thing like that. Because this rattle is called the spirit caller. And once you're being asked to align more with spirit, to start working with spirit, but also know that great power comes with great responsibility. Put your work towards the whole, not just yourself. Also, the advice here is that you are meant to serve a divine purpose. And they say always when you're working with spirit, you want to catch God on a whisper and not on a shout. So you need to be listening very carefully during this time, because spirit is guiding you and surrounding you towards your mission in life, which could be like in health, or it could be working with children. It could be any of these things. The chameleon card comes out because what they say is the world is full of different people that have different gifts, and it's almost like a quilt. You know, each patch has its own beautiful colors and vibrancy. Don't be like the chameleon and just blend in, because you have a lot to share with the world, not just following what other people do. You're meant to stand out, not to blend in. I'm going to pull some Making Magic cards also to end the reading. Let's see what else we can get. Hopefully something in here resonated with you. Do we have any cards for the group that picked the pumpkin? It's pretty cool because it said about the connection with spirit and the connection towards like astrology, astronomy, and things like that. And you've got the triple moon. It says embracing all aspects of yourself, the divine and the earthly, which is perfect. It might be time for you to embrace both of them. The sun, the golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. So possibly you could be striving towards something that could make you famous or, you know, fortunate. And it does say with this eternal child, like a lot of them are very popular. They do really well as far as like becoming famous and things like that. So it kind of goes perfect. The dragonfly, you bring light to the world. Amen. And you see the light shining in the sun in the middle of this eternal child. So those are quite perfect. All kind of tie it together. All right, group number 2. Hopefully you enjoyed this and something in here resonated for you. If so, please like it, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to the next group now. Hello, group number 3. If you picked the green scarecrow, then this message is for you. Let's see what cards we have here for group number 3. We have got, for the archetype here, it is the nectar. Your past life is Celtic. Phobias. Wars and battle. For your starseed, we have Child of the Cosmos. We have Cracked Open. For your Shamanic Oracle, we have the Seer. And for the Empathic Oracle, we have Manifestation. Okay, for this group, I'm going to start with the Celtic here. It says you could have felt some kind of bonding towards the Celtic spirituality. You could have been drawn to Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, or have visited these. They said if you see something like this, or if you start researching those areas, you will get like a sense of deja vu, like you've been there before, you've seen it, you've heard it, those type of things. You could be fascinated with Stonehenge, King Arthur's Camelot, the old religion, which is like healing herbs, and then like wisdom from the trees. You could have been drawn, or you may have like the ancient druid inside of you, or you may be an ancient druid. You have a connection to like the elemental realm, which is like being very in tune with the trees, the herbs, you may be drawn to fairies or the fae, elves, things like that. With the trees, they say especially oak and willows would be good for you to work with. And then we have phobias for the past life. This comes because of like you're needing to connect the dots between your current life and your past life, and because you could have some energy blocks there that are slowing down your desire, like your results for your desire. It's like they say you want to master, like everything you do, you want to master it. And there's some things that you're trying to master that are just out of your control. You could have trust issues, unconscious knowing, like your higher self. They said like work through it through like a past life, or reach out to like a past life regression. They say intuitively, like, you know what these fears are, but you're not sure like where they come from. So past life and dream therapy could also help. They say like before you lay down at night, ask your spirit guides, God, to help guide you or give you information of like what it is that has caused you these fears. Then you have wars and battles. So possibly one or more lifetimes you fought in a battle, harmed in a battle, could have died in a battle. You're very conflict phobic. You have no tolerance for violence. Loud sounds and noises really rattle you. It kind of prevents relationships from deepening because you stay in this fight or flight mode sometimes. Anytime a situation may arise, you may just jump, or like something inside of you makes you pull back. In reverse though, or sometimes it can also manifest as like possible anger issues, strong desire for revenge. It could also lead to some kind of addiction just so you can feel at peace. They say the way that you can turn it for a positive is to work as like an activist or something that works towards like a positive like change in the social environment, and to become like a champion for the underdogs. Now the archetype here is the nectar. And the nectar basically says it's like a sweet, potent, heavenly essence that lubricates the soul and it brings you back to life. This essence is like it's like when you relish in places, people, and things. It like regenerates you and heals you. So the nectar you find inside of those situations, it's like the life force, the one that like brings energy. So they say to use it as like medicine and don't underestimate it. It's something that is activated within, like when you hang around the right people, when you're put yourself in the right situations, when you're doing something for that soul mission, it ignites something in your soul that when people look at you, once activated, they can see the light shining from your eyes. So what it's saying is like to embrace that nectar, like find that place inside of you that like thrives, and start putting yourself in situations or doing certain things that ignite that part of your soul. With your Starseed Oracle, we have Child of the Cosmos. And this card says the intelligence of the universe lies within you. this is like the mysterious force that tells flowers to bloom, tides to change, seasons to change. It's the ebb and flow of life, like the things that are just like an inner knowing. Like when you're a baby, you don't worry or fret of where like the food's coming from. It just flows to you. It's that ebb and flow. And so you're being asked, or what it says is, it's harder to resist this movement than to just surrender to it. So you're being encouraged to like surrender more deeply into what you know to be true, the things that you know to be true, how things change, and just that getting in the flow with the universe type of vibe. Then we have Cracked Open. And the Cracked Open says, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. This is like almost like an egg, and right before the chicken is born, it like builds up and builds up and builds up inside the egg, just creates like a severe pressure. You could be going through some type of pressure in this current incarnation. The one thing they tell you to remember is that don't let the weight of the world crumble your spirit. Extreme pressure cultivates diamonds. So you're being created into something beautiful and spectacular. Through the crumbling, our wounds are alchemized. So be like open to be cracked open. Be open to the pressure. Like when the pressure comes, just know it's molding you and forming you to be cracked open and born again. Then for the Shamanic, we have the Seer. And they're saying to reach into hidden realms. The Seer is like that all-knowing observer that just sits back and they watch. Very psychic. You could be very psychic. You could be very intuitive. You're able to read between the lines when someone's talking. Somebody can say something very small and you know like a whole book. You see more than what is being, said. So with this card, it's saying that you're needing to be very truthful with yourself during this time. There's something possibly within you that needs to be exposed. The truth may hurt, but it will set you free. It's a moment of power, and with this, you're being asked to ask Spirit what is the truth that you need to know during this time. What is it that you're not seeing clearly? No matter the price, just open your eyes so you can receive the gifts that are there. Like there's something that possibly intuitively that you're supposed to be doing, but you let go of, that you are refusing to, like, it's almost like you gaslight yourself into believing something that's not true because it's more comfortable than actually facing the truth and doing something different. So right now you're being asked to be the Seer, look inside and find that truth, and then just face it, because nothing's scary in the dark if you just look at it. And then you have Manifestation here. Manifestation, it says, give yourself permission to manifest. Your energy is abundant, and you attract to yourself that which is needed for your path. Power already within us. So everybody holds the key of manifestation. A lot of problems with manifestation is we write down all these things, we do all these things, or we don't put forth the effort, first of all. But the one thing that holds us back the most is the ability to have that inner knowing of, this is mine, this is coming to me, this, the trust. The trust is what, trust in the divine, trust in the universe to work with you and work with, if you don't believe in what it is that you're going to manifest, that's what causes that block. So when you're manifesting, be sure to be very clear of what it is you want. Start putting small baby steps towards that. And then also believe that it's already done. Believe that it's already coming to you. It's that inner faith. It's that inner knowing. I'm also going to pull some Making Magic cards for this collective to see if there's any additional information going forward. And I hope that you enjoyed, or something in here resonated with you. If you like this reading or this type of reading, please leave a comment or smash the like button, so that way I know and I can do more like this in the future. Okay, so we have prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success. So and then it says successful career too, a happy working environment, pay raises and promotions. So this could be what you're manifesting at this time. Just know that you're being supported, and believe in it. You know, the symbols here are very similar to some of the symbols in the cards. So, and then also it says little luxuries generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. So for this group, it looks like there's possibly some, once you clear out these blocks and really start grabbing hold of what it is that is your true purpose, your true mission, laying down things that don't serve you and embracing that nectar, you will find your way, and you will find these opportunities that are full of prosperity, successful career, and then you'll be able to enjoy the little luxuries. Again, I thank you for watching and supporting my channel. Everything you do is amazing, and I appreciate every one of you. So until the next time, love you guys to the moon, stars, and Mars. Peace.